Donal Brennan was born in 1953 in Sligo and grew up on the family farm in the parish of Curry with his parents Dan, Henrietta and siblings Bernard, Frida and Ita. He attended Moylock National School, moving to board at St Nathan's Ballahadreen, where he started to excel in academia, sport and establishing himself as one to watch, particularly in the field of Gaelic football and mathematics. He became the first pupil of the school to enter the Young Scientist competition with the groundbreaking project An Algebraic Development of Real Numbers. He entered the seminary in Maynooth and helped them win their first Sigerson Cup, beating a much heralded UCD team in the final. Never forgetting his roots, he returned to help his parish Curry win the Sligo County Final in 1972. He also then helped Sligo to their first county title in 47 years. Dreams of an All-Ireland final were shattered by a Pat Spillane-inspired Kerry team in the semi-final. While completing his H-Dip in Dublin, Donal decided to become an educator and share his talents with others. A conversation with Father Stanley persuaded him to spend a year in Willow Park. He then stayed there for 30 more, finishing as principal of the school, his gifts of administration and guidance bringing the school to where it is today. During that time, he oversaw the start of the redevelopment of Willow Park and was a catalyst for the IT revolution in the school. His appointment as principal in 1996 was seen as a first for Willow Park, and Donal went about the task with enthusiasm. The Willow Wheelers and the Under-13s Cup wins are numbered on his personal achievements in Willow. However, the development of his pupils was always his focus. He also took on the task of fundraising and development of a new wing of Blackrock College. His retirement in 2012 left big boots to fill. Donal wasn't finished with management. He sat on the boards of several schools, including Sacred Heart National School in Killinarden, which is a place close to his heart. He used his talents here for guidance and advice. Over the years, he has also kept his interest in GAA as chairman of St Jude's in Temple Ogue. Today he acts as a counsellor to the second years of Blackrock College, preparing them for the road ahead. Donal Brennan is one of Willow Park and Blackrock College's unsung heroes. He has been a leader, sportsman, confidant, supporter and friend to many for more than 40 years. His enthusiasm for education in all aspects of life has been unwavering over the decades. He has created a bond between the schools and all who his life has touched during this time, supported by his wife Maura and daughters Emer and Maeve, who have been with him throughout the years.
He is and still is the heart and soul of Willow Park School. And I say Willow Park School because, there was no junior, there was no senior school there. And Donal had all of that school, all 800 boys. And the legacy that he's left behind, I can only hope to emulate what he's achieved.
He was involved in absolutely everything, so everybody came across him, and he was always kind and generous and would always connect with people, which is why he remembers them all so well.
Donal, he's a man that gets respect. He's a man that's easy to talk with. He's very relaxed. He talks to you, he'll sit down and talk to you as a friend, and he's an easy man to work with.
What he left behind in terms of quality of school to Hugh Maguire as the next principal and Alan Rogan to follow that, what he left behind was a really sound foundation on which they have built and built since then.
As a young 12-year-old coming into first year from primary school, and the memory I have of Donal is that 1, he was absolutely huge, 2, he had massive hands, and thirdly, he had a very strange accent. So for September, October, November in maths class, I really didn't know what was going on.
Donal is a great guy and a man of great ability, a man of words, a sportsman and everything, but one thing is he hasn't a note in his head. Donal's party pieces, the Kenny Rogers song, Don't Take Your Love to Town, Ruby. Donal take the little bottle of wine in hand, the microphone, and started blasting out his version of Ruby. And I just happened to be sitting beside Father Dowling, who had been playing the piano during the sing-song, and Father Dowling had the hand in his, and was going, as Donal was going away, and Donal finished the song to rapturous applause, and Father Dowling just turned around to me and said, "Not enough keys."
And later on, he got a great interest in horses. And I think himself and Father Gavin from the college often used to sneak away on the odd afternoon to go to Fairy House or Leopardstown or Punchestown to while away a few hours in the afternoon.
Did you have many winnings together?
Well, we always said we did, but the truth be known, we didn't. We were there for great times, yeah.
Very warm, and he relaxes people, and he's got a wealth of knowledge and experience, and he departs that very subtly, so he does. And when it comes down to it, he cares deeply about our school. You know, he's not just there for the sake of being the chairperson and going through the mills. He cares deeply about our children and our families and the community. And I know when he leaves here, he wants to leave a legacy that he's had a massive influence on what we're trying to do here.
Over the last 40 years, generations of students would have benefited from the many attributes he has. His enthusiasm, his commitment and loyalty, and especially his kindness and empathy.
You're a man of many talents, always understated. You could have been a priest, probably bishop, a politician, probably Taoiseach, or a rock star.
We have all felt as Blackrock boys out Hope that this is somewhere that is an extension of our home and we feel happy to be part of because it's a connectedness. And Donal has been a vital link in that chain, I couldn't overstate it. And I'm delighted to hear of the union recognising him in this way. I think it's important to recognise those who make a major contribution in a quiet, unassuming way. Never really looking for it, putting their hand up for it, but just going about their business because their business is really a reflection of who they are, and that's what education's all about.
This year's recipient of the President's Award is Donal Brennan.